Okay, so I'm going to try and say this in a way that others can understand, or understand, rather. And I thought that my last recording was going to be the last on my channel for a little while. However, this has to do with cloning and the cloning torture that is being forced. This also goes into the bigger picture of things. And I'm going to state some things to try and help you to understand or to see the bigger picture of what is going on. Now, they use clones for many, many different things, for many different reasons. What is occurring is all of those supposed, this is in quotes, beings, right, of all those supposed benevolent races that channel to certain humans on this planet. If you could just take a moment and put all your belief systems on the back burner for a moment and try to look at this in a bigger picture kind of a way. If number one, this galaxy is fucked. This galaxy has already been overrun with parasites. Okay. Now I'm going to explain to you kind of what it looks like now. All those supposed benevolent races who either reside in higher dimensions and or the higher astrals, okay, the higher astral realms. They use clones in order to access the humans on this planet. There are massive cloning centers underground. There are also cloning centers on the surface. All beings are logged and cataloged at birth according to their frequency, vibration, light, sound, energy, and resonance, as well as their bloodline. Okay. They have been systematically going through trying to find and locate all of those beings who are basically, in short, of Father, of the true benevolent creator, of all the true benevolent beings who would be opposing the malevolence, the demons. I guess you could, in some circles, you could say Lucifer's line, right? If you gravitate kind of more towards biblical history. Those supposed benevolent races have been residing in the higher astrals and or the higher dimensions, and the way that they have been doing this is via clone on this planet. Not to mention, I'm not even going to account right now in this moment for what they've done on other planets, because what they've done here, they've done on other planets. This is a massive operation. You have to think of it in more of a if you've ever seen movies like Jupiter Ascending that talk about the goings on and or the workings of a universe, okay? It's along those lines. It's a massive operation. What goes on here goes on other planets. This galaxy is fucked. So all of these other supposed benevolent races, the way that they keep themselves in those higher dimensions, in the higher astrals, is to rape high vibrations and frequencies and energies and lights, sounds, and resonances from true humans, true benevolent beings, via torture, rape, and murder, via however they can rape it. Some they get to just do it willingly because some are just ignorant and don't know that they're willingly giving over their consent to demons, to parasites. Others, they fucking torture, rape, and murder them via cloning torture, where they take a clone and they murder it, they rape it and murder it and dismember it, and then they try and transfer those visions and those sensory perceptions over to the real, true, authentic being that they made the clone of, or that they attached the clone to. Because it's not just they're making a clone of somebody. They'll take a generic clone and then rape the energies and frequencies and vibrations of an authentic, true being and attach those frequencies and vibrations to the clone. And what they do is those beings, and they're not beings, they're entities, those entities access that human through the clone that they have attached to the human via the raped frequencies and vibrations and energies and bodies of that being. Am I making sense? Are you seeing yet? All of these entities, all of those groups, right? And I'm not going to name them here because I've already, there is enough attention that is being directed my way because of the things that I state on this channel. Now, this channel does not have a very big following. It sure doesn't. Not that I wanted followers or subs. I was trying to tell people what the fuck is going on here. I'm not interested in like a sub count or how big the channel gets. What I'm interested in is if people listen to what is being stated and if they can see the fucking big picture of what is being forced in this galaxy, on this planet, on other planets, right? And I'm trying not to be emotional here, but I just got through trying to fend myself off from more cloning torture while I'm trying to fucking sleep. Okay? I'm telling you, they use the clones to access the humans here, the true benevolent beings, in order to rape their high frequency and vibrations and many other things from them to keep themselves in those higher dimensions, in those higher realities. They have been raping humanity of our due evolution for so many fucking timelines that you just, it's almost unfathomable at this juncture. And you always, like, when the kind of music that I like to try and fall asleep to, they always preview it with these, like, channeled messages and all of these, like, groups talking about their ascended master messages and things like that, right? I'm seeing all these previews come up in my feed for the music that I listen to on YouTube to try and go to sleep to. And if you knew, like, if you could just look at it from this perspective and then try and listen to one of those channeled messages or listen to an actual being that's channeling that group's message. If it's, I don't know, you have some bigger name ones, right? Bigger name humans that are channeling this group or that group or whatever. I'm not going to name names, but I'm sure you've heard of them. If you have this perspective and then you go to listen to what they're telling you, you can start to hear, you can start to discern, and you can start to hear the lies in what they're telling you. And it makes it easier to discern through the bullshit. That is how, number one, that they've been raping humanity. Humanity should be already in those higher dimensions, in those higher realities already. Humanity could have evolved long ago. These are parasites. You have the full-out malevolent ones, right? And then you have good cop. Then you have all these other supposed benevolent ones, right? Giving you a bunch of half-truths, lies, cons, and deceptions. They kind of give you a little bit of truth. They suck you in, right? And then they drag you off into the fucking weeds and make you go in a circle jerk. And they never really get you on the direct evolution path. It's always, you either end up confused or going down fucking rabbit holes or getting so far off the mark that you have to start over. Like, it's been fucking bullshit, people. It's been bullshit. And they've been running this fucking game for a very long time in this galaxy. It's been overrun with fucking parasites. I'm not kidding. And if they've done it in this galaxy, how many other galaxies have they done it in? Right? I don't know the full history of the reptilians. Now, I have also come to the conclusion that this universe is fucked, that this universe is parasitic and assisting parasites, basically doing all the raping via proxy, parasitic proxy and via the AI system and clones in order to manage to exist in the universe in the same space as universal laws and not get nailed. Right? Because I am able to move violations in real time directly to universal laws because I jump over the frequency fence and move their violations directly to universal laws. They get hit immediately with the return of their violation. However, it only lasts about 5 minutes before they are using technology to forcibly regress what I have moved manually to universal laws. I also have a very strong feeling that the universe itself, because I believe the universe to be parasitic and is assisting, basically he uses the parasitic infection along in combination with the AI system to go through the universe and basically rape high vibrations and frequencies to then use them, to then wear them. And considering this is a massive operation, not just on this planet, and considering how old is the universe, how long has the universe been conducting its business in this fashion? Everything that I have moved to universal laws for correction, I should have only had to do once. I should not have to do it every 10 fucking minutes of every day. The universe should be backing me. And considering the planets and races that have been annihilated by that parasitic species, the universe itself would be fully aware of what the fuck is going on in this universe. When you have entire planets that are being fucking destroyed due to wars or due to infighting. So the universe can't sit there and say it doesn't know what the fuck is going on, that it's just so massive it just doesn't have a clue. It does, and that's the issue right there. Is that over 10,000 years or however long the reptilians have been in this galaxy doing their nasty, and there's been no fucking correction. That they've had this operation going in where they use clones to rape beings, high vibrational and true benevolent beings of their stuff. The fact that the universe itself has not assisted in the enforcement of universal laws, has not corrected malevolent fucking entities running around with frequency weaponry and cloning technology. Technologies that are not even allowed in this universe. So as you're looking, maybe if you're trying to figure things out and you try and take a look at things from this perspective, it might start to paint or show you a bigger picture of the goings on this planet and in this galaxy and what's been being forced here. And because they have been on this planet for a very long time and have been operating in this fashion for a very long time, meaning the cloning centers are not new, right? They've been doing this in prior civilizations, which is why they log and catalog at birth. Now, some they have already cloned out. Some they have forcibly fractured and fragmented through the recycling program, which is reincarnation, so many times that some beings just are so fractured and fragmented that they don't, they can no longer are in a position to help themselves. The ones of us who are the strong ones who've made it this far and have still retained the majority, if not all, of our true beings, are being targeted, very heavily, specifically targeted, because we have, because of what we have retained and because of our gifts, skills, and abilities, because we can fucking end them, because we see through bullshit, because we see the truth of things. Because we are strong, because we are able to actually take action and do something about it. That's why they pull out the frequency weaponry. That's why the malevolence always opts to use frequency weaponry on the strong ones towards a civilization's evolution climax. The ones that don't fall that go past the gatekeepers, right? The ones that don't fall for the lies, cons, and deceptions and the half-assed truths. The ones that go past all their channelers and all their fucking bullshit. The ones that go past that because they think all that shit's lies. Because they know there's something, if anything, they know that there's something wrong with it. It just doesn't sound right to them. It sounds off. So we continue searching, right? We go past all the channelers and we just keep going because we want the actual fucking truth of things. So for those of us that do that, we're the ones that they try and specifically target with the frequency weaponry, with the cloning torture, with the forced remote neural monitoring, the forced voice to skull, which is forced synthetic telepathy, the forced EEG heterodyning. These are all terms that you can look up if you're confused. And prior, a couple years back, my channel was pretty much dedicated to targeted individuals. That's what targeted individuals are. But in my specific case, it has reached a level that is not even, I can't even begin to articulate the level of fucking torture and rape forced on me daily. Now, would they go through all this trouble and use the amount of resources that they do on a being they think is full of shit? On somebody that doesn't really know what the fuck is going on? Right? Would they use all those resources and go through the trouble of trying to forcibly torture somebody with frequency weaponry for somebody that doesn't know what the fuck is going on? Right? Because there's still some out there, they listen to what I've stated and they're like, oh, you're just, I think you're over exaggerating or what. No, that is not what that is. Not at all. Now, you can choose to believe me or don't. I'm not trying to be rude here, but I don't give any fucks at this point. I'm telling you what the fuck is going on here. And if you cannot see it, then that's, I guess, happy trails to you. And, good luck on your journey, wherever that takes you. I have been forcibly made privy to certain things. Via force torture and rape by the parasitic reptilian species and by their handlers. Now, getting to that point, the reptilians use that group that you're all aware of that spends their time torturing and murdering and sacrificing babies and animals and sometimes adults. Yeah. That eat babies. I'm sure you all have heard of that group, right? They use that group as patsies, as throwaways. Because that group is so fucking insane. And most of them have either been cloned out or have been hybridized. They are so insane that they basically do whatever the reptilians tell them to do. And if that means going against universal laws, then they just do their bidding. So that is also another way that all of these supposed benevolent groups and the reptilians have loopholed universal laws. Do you know what they're using? They're using your stuff. They're using your power, your energy, your will that they've raped from you via clone. Either with or without your knowledge. Either with or without your consent. That's how they've been loopholing. They use a clone to attach to you, or they rape your stuff and attach it to a clone. Then they wear the clone. Then they inhabit the clone. And then they use the clone to do things in the universe with your stuff. And then all the fucking nasty, guess who gets stuck with that bill? Can you guess? Do you know why? Because it's got your energetic signature on it. Your neurological signal. It's got your energy signature on it. They raped it, attached it to a clone, went about their nasty, abhorrent, sadistic business in this universe using a clone that's got your stuff. Are you starting to fucking see yet? The massive, abhorrent operation that they've got going on in this fucking universe. In this, well, at least at this point, in this galaxy. Can you see? Now, if you can see that, and then on top of that, if you can feel the truth, the energy of the truth of what I'm stating, if you can hear the ring of truth, then you know why they force on me daily what they force. Because I have drawn the attention of those groups. This civilization is at its evolution climax. And they are once again trying to rape humanity of their due evolution. It's also the end of one of the universe's cycles. The universe is at the end of a large cycle. So basically, they've thrown in all their chips, right? Because they think they're going to win. They're counting on the AI. They're counting on the frequency weaponry. They're counting on the technology. And I think so is the universe itself. I think the universe is complicit. I think this is a failed universe, and I think this universe found a way. See, even now as I'm speaking, I've got entities forcibly attached to my astral body via my chakra system and via my subtle body and physical body. So basically, they go to access my astral body or my subtle body or physical body. And then as I'm speaking, that's how they then come back and say, well, they try to claim it as theirs. When I have been revoking my consent for everything that they have forced for over 10 years, every day, all day. That's why I have to put my revocations of consent on fucking everything. If it seems excessive to you, I'm so sorry, but that's the way it has to be. Because they're constantly trying to fucking rape from me. Because I refuse to fucking bend over. It's my being. Those things are mine. It is my will. It is my energy. My will and my frequencies and my light and my energy are mine. I've refused consent at the fucking onset. of their intrusion and their invasion. I've been moving their violations to universal laws for over 10 years. And every day, all day for the last 6 or 7. So, the actual universe itself doesn't seem real interested in backing me, in removing its dogs, in removing its parasitic proxies. The universe doesn't seem real interested in doing that. I wonder why that is. Could it be that he's been doing all of this intentionally, that this is how he conducts his business? That he uses the AI system as a way to remain parasitic and rape from any benevolent beings that happen to emerge into this universe and on planets? And if he goes after entire species and races of beings on planets, do you think that he stopped there? What about large creator gods of large creations? Like, let's say there's a creator god that created an entire galaxy. Where do you think that being is? Why has there not been any intervention or assistance, true benevolent assistance or intervention for many millennia? Do you think any true benevolent being is going to sit around and watch his children be hacked into with frequency weaponry and cloning technologies by parasites that should not even be in manifested creation? Would any father stand around and watch a malevolent parasitic whore do that to his children and not fucking intervene? Do you think he's just going to sit around and watch that? Or a mother, for that matter? Okay. So I think there's been a lot of hijacking going on. I think there's been a lot of torture, rape, and murder. I think there's been a lot of parasitization, cannibalizing off of true benevolent beings, no matter their size, in this galaxy, and most likely the rest of the universe. Because how old is the universe, and how long has he been conducting his business this way? And how much he's trying to, it seems like, trying to get away with a whole bunch of nasty. And for any true benevolent being, maybe because we would catch on. That's why they pull out the frequency weaponry and start targeting us at the beginning of a civilization's evolution climax. Because we start asking bigger questions, harder, more logical questions, because what they're offering doesn't make any fucking sense. So what do? They try and murder. Because we're not falling for the lies. We see past the bullshit. So, moving forward, they use that group because that group is so insane that they just do the reptilians' bidding. And then the reptilians use them as throwaways. They're patsies. Now, they don't think that they're patsies, but they're patsies. Because the level and degree of horror and atrocity being forced on this planet on true benevolent beings via cloning and via technology is, like, once again, abhorrent is a massive understatement. It is, for what they've done here, for what they have forced here. And we have very parasitic entities residing in higher dimensions and realities that should not be there. They're using your stuff to remain in those higher realities, in those higher dimensions. And then they pass themselves off as highly evolved races. We can see how much they've assisted here. Can you? Can you take a look around and just see all the physical help that they've been offering humanity? Can you? Can you just see just how much they've been helping here? Can you see all the results of their help? Okay. I'm just saying, you really need to stop and start asking hard, logical, critical questions of those, in quotes, beings. Because they're not fucking beings. They're entities. And if you happen to work with any of those groups, I suggest writing out some hard, logical, critical questions and asking those questions before receiving your next channeled message, right? And getting some very thorough, articulate, complete answers that don't take you in a fucking circle jerk. And they don't spin you off into the weeds or try and evade or omit or press your ego button or just ignore you altogether and start talking about other stuff. And if they try and pass it off as not important and try not to answer your, like, if they're doing any of that, that's fuckery. They're trying not to answer your questions because they can't. Not without you figuring out the truth. Not without you figuring out that they're fucking lying. So we're already at 32 minutes. I really wanted to just make this brief. So that's what they're doing with the clones. And they've pretty much, if you think of yourself as a spiritual being and you think that you have come pretty far in your spiritual evolution and your spiritual growth, I would say that most likely they've already got you cloned out. And during your sleep time and possibly even waking hours, they attach a clone to you and then rape from you. And if you find yourself being forcibly regressed, meaning you make progress, and then the next week, let's see, you make progress, and then you experience the manifested results of that progress, and then over the next week, you find yourself back in the shitter. You find yourself feeling back before you made the progress. That's them fucking regressing you. That's them raping your high vibrations and frequencies and energies, and then forcibly putting you back in the shitter. That's what that is. So if you have that experience often, then you've been cloned. And they're basically raping from you. They're siphoning off of you. They're using you as a fucking smorgasbord. And an all-you-can-eat buffet. And they're raping from you. So in my, over the last few recordings, I suggest you start refusing consent. And there was an exercise a few recordings back that I said that you could try. In where basically you sit quietly and you go to pull back all of your being, every piece, part, and fragment of your being, back from all clones, back from all astral realms and artificial realities and AI systems. And if you feel any kind of resistance or any kind of emotion accompanying that, other than feeling more jubilant, feeling more energized, feeling like you have more of your being with you again, feeling full of life. If you feel anything other than that, they're raping you and they're siphoning off of you. and they're either trying to make you feel bad for taking your own stuff back, or they're trying to make you feel bad to keep you from taking your stuff back, right? It's a very simple exercise that anyone can do. Just sit quietly for a few minutes and start pulling back every piece, part, and fragment of your being back from all astral realms, clones. Make sure you include clones in there. Back from all clones, all astral realms, all artificial realities within the AI system, and within, and from all AI systems, and all in the totality of the frequency fence surrounding this planet and the universe itself, and all malevolence. Okay, it's very simple. If you do meditation, this shouldn't take you long. It takes you about 5 minutes. Go ahead and try that exercise. And if you, like I said, if you get anything other than all your stuff back, you've got some fucking issues that you need to attend right away. Because you've got some very horrific, nasty, demonic parasites raping from you and siphoning off of you daily. Yeah. So I think at this point, it would probably be a good idea for you to, if you are, if this is resonating with you, and if you were able to see the bigger picture of things in this galaxy, you probably at this juncture really need to step up your game and be doing your best to operate out of your galactic self, out of your galactic capacity, and get over this universe being like, get over any kind of reverence or respect. Not that you have to have disrespect, but get off your knees, right? Get off your knees and hold back the automatic respect and reverence, and start asking some hard, logical, critical fucking questions of the universe itself, as well as any group of beings that you've been working with. And start getting some fucking answers. Because what I have been forced to see, and much of it forced due to forced cloning torture. When you're tortured to that degree, that level, I really don't even want to get into those things, but let's just say when the trauma is to such a degree, if it doesn't, I'll say, if a being doesn't die from that amount of trauma, then usually it goes the opposite direction, in where that being's DNA activates. And they, and those beings generally come into much more higher knowledge. So do yourself a favor and try that exercise. This is, unfortunately, this is where we're at. As a civilization on this planet, this is a parasitic farm. And it's been forcibly made a parasitic farm for a very long time by a bunch of parasites. And this is how they've been maintaining their stay in manifested creation. And some of them in higher dimensions and realities that they do not belong in. And that's how they've been raping humanity of their due evolution. So these are some things that you might want to think about and or contemplate and take a look at, see if those things resonate. And the things I've stated resonate, and if they do resonate, then you'll just have to do more introspection and more meditation and start asking your own questions. I'm so sorry. That was my alarm. I was supposed to be getting up at this time. However, I was woken up by force by some other torture going on. So, which is the reason for this recording. And I think I will end this here. And yeah, I had planned on that last recording to be the last one for at least either permanently or for a while anyway, and then I had to add this one. So until next time, take care of yourself and those that you do love, and do the best that you can, and come out of please be trying to operate out of your fullest capacity. You're going to need to in dealing with a parasitic infection of that size. You're going to need to bring it and then some if you want your stuff back. If you want your stuff back and you want to stop them from fucking raping you, you're going to have to step up your game and be working out of a higher capacity. Your galactic self, your universal self, whatever higher self that you can fucking manage right now, you're going to be working out of that, and you're going to be standing in your power and standing in your authority. If you don't want parasites raping you of your stuff. And that's what that is. Till next time.